work session, December 8th, 2016. We are attempting to set the agenda for the regular council meeting of January 12th, 2017. Janet, if we could have the roll call, please.
Mayor Lambert,
Here?
Vice Mayor Griffith, Councilmember Cagle,
Here.
Councilmember Manning,
Here.
Councilmember Sewell,
Here.
City Manager Miller,
Here.
City Clerk Moore.
Apparently, Mr. Gravitt had some car trouble today in Nashville, and so he may be here, he may not be here. We'll have to wait and see. All right, it looks like under old business, we would have potentially ordinance number 1025 for second and final reading. Obviously, this would be something that,
I'm sorry, this is, you want to talk about this one, this is your budget.
it's on the regular agenda for tonight. So I'm sure there will be more discussion then, but if you would like to.
It's just going to be reflecting some of the purchases that y'all have authorized with certain departments.
Okay. Okay, so if there are any questions, certainly there will be ample opportunity to ask those questions during the regular council meeting when we consider it on first reading. Item B would also, let's see. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, potentially before us on second reading. There's been a little bit of back and forth today on whether we're actually going to consider it tonight on first reading. We are going to consider it on the regular agenda, but ordinance number 1024 is in regard to a rezoning of a property on Lazard Street. So again, potentially it is in front of the council for second and final reading next time. But there will be a public hearing and potentially first reading tonight during the regular council meeting. We could on first reading, potentially during the council meeting, right, the regular meeting. Okay, so again, there will be opportunity to ask questions and receive additional information at that time. Under new business, an unnumbered resolution for approval to purchase a 2017 Ford Explorer utility vehicle for the fire department on a statewide contract. Have any additional information? We do have a sheet stapled, a memorandum stapled to the agenda.
I know that we joined that group to be able to purchase through the state contract thing,
Right.
but I was wondering, did we get 3 quotes for this truck?
Did we get,
Or did we
we
just
just
go
go
with-
with state contract? We didn't formally bid this truck out.
Sorry?
We didn't formally bid this truck out. We went with state contract, so.
I thought when we agreed to join the state contract thing, that I asked a question if that would stop us from still getting our 3 bids, and the answer was no. So I'd like to see the truck bid out.
If we decide to bid it out, I don't know what the city's position will be if all 3 of those bids, if the lowest of the 3 bids coming in is higher than the $32,697.
And then we'll take the lower bid.
I don't know if you can do that once you bid it out. Once you decide to bid it out, you've got to
So
go to
then
the
by
bid.
us joining in the mutual agreement with these people, then that stopped us our 3 bid situation. So that was the question I asked that night. If by us joining into this mutual
I
agreement
was,
with these.
yeah, I was thinking, if we go under the state contractors, we were utilizing the state contractors, they've already gone out for formal bid.
Well, everything's already
We had the opportunity to do that.
Well, that's the question I'm asking, if we can do it. If we can still go out for 3 bids, now you're telling me no.
No, and I'm basically, no, I'm not telling you
Well, wait, you
no.
said it,
What I'm saying is, if you decide, and now this is not a legal decision in the state of Tennessee I've gotten, this is legal decisions that I've been under in the other states I've worked in. If we decide to not go with the state contract, and we decide we are bypassing that and we're going to bid it out formally, we bid it out formally, and the lowest bid comes in higher than 32,000, we can't just discard those 3 bids and go with the state contract. We have our opportunity to do that, and we discounted it.
You can't have it both
You
ways.
you can't take 2 bites of the apple. You either go one way or the other. You either decide to go on a state contract, or you bid it out formally and go that process.
We can't send, Tennessee and Murfreesboro a formal bid to bid on. They might come in under
I don't
state
think
contract.
they-
Oh, I don't think we would either.
I don't think they would. I don't think they would. Anyway, you wouldn't bid, if you would bid this thing out formally, we wouldn't bid it out as a Ford Explorer utility. We would bid out a comparable vehicle like a Ford Explorer utility, because there may be others out there that are similar, other makes and models that are similar, that can come in under bid.
This has all the equipment they have. All the
It's all
lighting,
add-on.
already
It's all add-ons, the equipment is.
So you always have the opportunity to go out for formal bid, but if you go with a state contract, I've always been told in the other states, that if you made the choice to go out for bid, then you've got to go with the lowest responsible bidder of those 3. You can't just turn around and say, we're gonna throw those 3 out and go with a state contract.
But if we send out the formal bids, we can send these people a bid sheet
Yes,
to be on the formal bid.
yes,
And then they can bid it 2 ways. They can bid it on the state contract, or they can bid it on their paper sheet.
Right, but they're not bound by the commitment they made to the state then. I mean, it's, you know, it's open.
And my feeling would be that if they were to bid separately, it would not be a better deal than what they're providing through the state contract, or else, you know, the state would then come around and say, yeah, every other city would start looking at, well, we don't want to take advantage of the state contract. We would rather bid it out, because we'll get a better deal if we bid it out directly. So I think they would they bid on it, maybe, would it be cheaper than the state contract?
I'm
Probably
just
not.
going on the answer that I got when we took that this didn't stop the,
no, it
Right.
doesn't stop us from doing that.
It will be.
But you can't just go out to bid and then throw those bids out. You either gotta pick which way you wanna go, and then you gotta go with it.
so,
That's
that's
fine.
fine, is that this has done away with the 3 bid system.
No, we can still say, no, we don't want to do the state
But
contract.
you got to make up your mind, just like the man said.
Right.
So we're in the system,
Am I-
so now we have got to go with the system.
Am I correct on that, Hal? I'm not sure whether,
Well, we got to do one or the other,
Right.
announce it on the front end, we either go through the state system
right,
with the prices they negotiated, or we throw that out and we have the 3 bid system. But we can't do both.
right.
The way we got set up tonight, we understand it,
Go with the state contract.
we're going to state contract.
But if you wanna go out for bid, then we will prepare the bids and we can
I think
go
we're
out
going
for
to
the bid.
state, that's what we're set up for.
We can do it either way. We're not set up for one specific. Depends on what you're actually looking at. We go out, we know that most of the time, the police vehicles and so forth, you're not gonna get a better price going out with 3 bids.
No, I
For
agree.
some other type of equipment, yes.
That's my only question. I just-
Okay, do we have any other comments or questions on that particular item? Again, that will be a resolution before us next time. Okay. Item B, setting a public meeting date on the expansion of CARTA service in East Ridge.
Okay? You want,
No, either way.
you're on a roll.
Okay, and you're not feeling too well, so I'll go ahead and do this. The city manager and I met with Carter representatives today to talk about the current service that they offer here at East Ridge. And it's, the service that's offered here currently is part of a 3-year grant that they were provided. And it doesn't cost the city anything during the 3 years of the grant. They're about halfway through. So about 18 months or so, that grant the money will run out, and we'll have a decision to make. Do we want to pitch in and keep the limited service going? Do we want to just get out of it altogether, or do we want to offer a different kind of service? maybe expanded, maybe it serves different areas of East Ridge from what the current service does. So the suggestion was, and I thought it was a very good one, have a public meeting and get input from potential users of the public transportation system and see what is desired. Is it something that where we want service all the way up Ringgold Road to tie both ends of the city together? Currently, it does not really service the west end that way. It only has a little, I've got a little map here
That's it.
they provided. And I'll make a copy of this for anybody who wants it, but, they go from Eastgate up North Terrace to Moore Road, over Moore Road to Ringgold Road, east on Ringgold Road down to Camp Jordan, and then on the interstate. So it's
Did he give any numbers on, readers, ridership now? What they're doing?
I believe the number she provided was 2,400 riders in the last 5 months, I think.
Yeah, since,
I think it was since June, or June through November.
yeah, June through November.
I think it was.
Well, it just comes back to the freeway, gets on the freeway. From there, where's it?
Right, it goes from there, actually services Enterprise South.
So it goes up to Volkswagen and up in there.
Right.
And then it comes back and makes the loop again. How many times a day are they out there?
I'm having to read the timetable here. Okay, it appears at Camp Jordan, looks like there's a 5:05, a 6:10, and a 7:20 pickup.
We get 2 buses in the morning and 3 at night.
So it's-
I have seen it come up and go out, not Maximum, but Spring Creek Road.
And it may have been going directly over to Eastgate, where they've got a,
Pretty last
Person
person,
service.
freeway from there, because I've seen it come up to Spring Creek. And that's usually in the evening time.
so I know I've had, I won't say a lot of requests, but I've had several people ask me. In fact, I was having breakfast last month down at Wally's, the chamber board was meeting, and we got finished with breakfast, and I was walking out, and the guy just kind of out of the blue stopped me and said, "Hey, any chance we could get expanded CARTA service in East Ridge?" Well, maybe, I don't know, we'll have to check it out and see. So I have gotten a few people who have come to me and said, "Hey, this would be something I would be interested in." So that's kind of the rundown, and again, the thought was maybe in the March timeframe, try to send notices out through the churches, through the chamber, through basically every avenue we can to get people to come here and just talk about it. If we were to do something in terms of public transportation, what would you like to see? Yes, absolutely. And there are various things, it's not just the bus service they offer, they also do the caravan, which I believe is for the disabled. It's according to ADA, it helps them to meet ADA compliance. Is to, so they do that. Obviously, they offer they operate the electric shuttles downtown. Is there an opportunity to maybe do an electric shuttle on Ringgold Road? They have lots of different possibilities out there. It's all we're looking to do at this point is just set a meeting and talk about it. See what kind of input we can get. So if we could, and we'll have that on the agenda for next time to set a date. So if we can be kind of looking at the calendar and think about what might work, mid-March timeframe, that would be ideal.
we go back to the old records and see if we can find what we were paying back then, and then what their rate increase was back then to the reason why we dropped the service, to see what they would kind of want to charge us at this time.
We can certainly try to research whatever information we have.
That's the reason why we dropped it, I think, because of the increase, yeah.
Even this man.
Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Was the rental car breakdown?
All right. Well, that's really all that we have on the work session agenda. Is there anything, Mr. Manning?
Not right now.
Mr. Sewell? Mr. Cagle?
No, sir, not this time.
Mr. Grant, do you have anything you'd like to? Mr. Brown is here. All right. I don't have anything either at this time. And so with that, we will adjourn the agenda work session. In about 10 minutes, we will start our regular council meeting.